Natural resource solutions that work for people and nature are inherently complicated. Sustainable Northwest works in a unique space. If you imagine three interlocking circles, community, the economy, and the environment, we work in that middle space. Some of us think of this as the radical middle.
I think it takes guts to sit in the middle and be willing to not only listen to everyone, but to genuinely hear them. I've always seen the radical middle, I've always seen compromise as the hard path, but as the right path.
We're approaching our work at Sustainable Northwest with a new sense of urgency. Climate change is already affecting the region. We're working to create incentives for landowners to be good land stewards, to derive new revenues from well-managed lands.
The family, when they first settled the area, named it Bald Hill, so that goes back to 1888. And there were no junipers in any of the pictures that we have. When we came back to the ranch in 1987, it was solid juniper. So we spent 3 years trying to get the juniper removed off that. I don't like to call them trees, they're weeds, because they're native, but they're invasive. They are robbing us of our water and of our soil and of the very systems that the wildlife need.
In the 30s, they figured there were about 1 to 2 million acres of juniper woodland in Oregon. We've gone from 1 million acres up to 10 million acres. This problem won't go away in our lifetime.
I'm really optimistic that we have a juniper market because there's not enough grant money in the world to control the amount of junipers that we have. We need to have a market, and we need to have a viable market.
It's the natural properties of juniper that have allowed it to become such a major component of what we do as a business here. We're able to purchase more from the rural producers, creating jobs in rural communities. Those rural producers, of course, are buying logs from the landscape, increasing the amount of restoration work that's happening in our state.
All of our work is really about that triple bottom line approach, and this is a classic example of one of those projects. When we manage juniper, we're improving environmental health by improving wildlife habitat for species like sage grouse and mule deer. We're improving water quality and quantity. We're decreasing wildfire risks in rural communities, but we're also able to create jobs.
It's absolutely necessary that there are local leaders. Leaders like Jim Walls, who returned to his community in Lake County and brought forward a vision of economic development and conservation by utilizing their abundant renewable energy resources.
Renewable energy is a great economic opportunity, and our goal is to be a net exporter of renewable energy by 2020. We're going to have over probably 20 to 30 megawatts or more, and in a county that's rural with few people and not many job opportunities, that is fabulous. LCR wouldn't have existed without Sustainable Northwest, our start. And for a nonprofit starting out to have that kind of push is unheard of.
Leaders like Don Gentry, the chairman of the Klamath tribes, has worked tirelessly toward achieving the goals for his people in the Klamath tribes and the larger Klamath Basin.
The Klamath Basin, of course, is our homeland, the homeland of the Klamath and the Modoc and the Huascan Paiute people. We're so closely tied to the land and all the resources. Our people have lived here as permanent village sites for thousands and thousands of years. Though times have changed, our ability to still hunt, fish, gather, trap, exercise our culture and traditions and our spiritual practices in our homeland is so important to us. And we know we have neighbors, so it's very important for us to work together to make sure that this area is managed in a way that's helpful for all and can be sustainable into the future. In 1917, when that first dam went in without fish ladders, and we lost cheals, the salmon and steelhead that used to come up here. So that's something that's been lost to us for nearly 100 years.
The community became incredibly aware of an enormous issue of water allocations. It seemed like a never-ending battle for folks in the Klamath Basin. It devastated our community. The tribes realized that what they needed was restoration in order to provide habitat for the current listed species and any fish that might arrive as a result of dam removal. Somebody came up with the brilliant idea of how about if we just stop hiring attorneys and actually sit down and have a conversation with the people that are in dispute over water.
The biggest part of the triple bottom line in the Klamath is that it's about people. Our view is if you get the people together talking about those three pieces, we can get to a time where we don't have these conflicts anymore.
This is the largest dam removal project or agreement in the United States. By the end, there was 26 different entities involved in this project. So, finding the middle ground for 26 entities is incredibly difficult, and I think most people are incredibly proud of what they've done.
So thankful for Sustainable Northwest being there and being a partner to us in the basin that have been working towards solutions and working for a better and sustainable future for all of us.
It's a huge step forward for restoration, which not only benefits this community and these fish, it has a domino effect all the way downstream to the mouth of the Klamath.
The people that we work with in these rural communities are an integrated, interdependent part of that ecosystem. They live there, they raise their families there, that's where their livelihood and their jobs are located. And so they have as much of an interest in maintaining the landscapes and the health of their ecosystems and environment as we do here in Portland. And so we want to enable them to be able to do that work, maintain working landscapes, and make a good quality living from doing so.
If you believe, as we do, that the future of our region depends on a healthy economy, healthy communities, and a healthy environment, then join us and support Sustainable Northwest and our partners to fulfill that vision.